There's some new things happening in this year, 2013, that it's important for you to realize how great Nikken is and the direction it's going in and how you can benefit from it. So please welcome Diamond Consultant and the Heart of Nikken winner, Rick Murphy.
Have huge respect for the team up here, some Nikken legends. I only hope to stand on their shoulders and add to it. And we're transitioning Nikken into a new era here. This is modern Nikken. We're going to move fast. We're going to move efficiently. We're going to absolutely blow this thing open. We are the first home career. What this company has done is taking all the stability of Wave 1 network marketing, the big old companies that took slower to build, and we've just added the element of speed that all the juicy juices have done over the last couple of years. Nikken has built a hybrid new model. January 1st, Nikken converted into a new company. And the reason I wanted to come and do this tour, because I got better things to do than travel around the country and be away from my 5-month-old and my wife, is because I believe so strongly in what we're about to do, both in the need and how profound it is and what's about to happen, that I wanted to go out and spread the word with everybody. And I'm going to tell you something else, flat out. If you go back and look at what Apple Computer did, Apple Computer had a very hardcore global niche of people that loved the Macintosh, right? You guys all agree with that in like '99? And you'd see these people that, you know, it was almost like they were better than you. Oh, I use the Macintosh. I'm creative. Look, I use IBM because I enjoy talking to other computers and actually being able to function in business. That's what I would say back. But that's different. You're creative and I'm productive. There's a difference. That aside, Apple was a multi-billion-dollar multinational company that had a hardcore niche of people, but it had a ceiling on it. It couldn't go really bigger than what it was. In about 2001, their stock was at $9 a share. Steve Jobs came back and said, I'm going to make everything new. And he had this idea that he was going to do touch screens and he was going to do music online. And do you know what all the executives told him at Apple? It'll never work. You can download it for free on Napster. Finger technology is not viable. No one's going to buy it. People want to type. And he had to fight through his own company and his own senior leadership that said, no, this is the way that we've done things at Apple. What happened to Apple over the past 9 years? It's over $500 a share right now. And now when you see a Samsung commercial on TV, I love it. You know you've won when other companies are selling their touchscreen phone by talking about you standing in the other line. Isn't it interesting how many network marketings, when they're recruiting you, talk about Nikken in their recruiting pitch? That's interesting to be the creator and the created. What you guys have here is the only thing that closely parallels Apple. And I'm going to tell you why today. Give you an example. When I used to turn on the news, you would have one old dude sitting behind the desk, and the reason they picked old dudes was because they had credibility and trust. Would you guys all agree with that? Now, try getting loose, get Mike Wallace with his ketchup in his face on TV. Nobody would watch him. So what do they do in America? They put a woman in a skirt out front. They put a guy sitting next to her. They put a crawl on this side, a crawl over here. The stories on the news used to last 2 to 4 minutes. Now they last less than 30 seconds. They know in today's marketplace, with you having all the internet, the access, the phones, the computers, that your attention span is so fast that they have to catch you differently. They put the skirt out there because both men and women will stop surfing for some weird reason. They know if they get you to stop, that you'll stay. And if they get you past 30 seconds, you'll stay till the next commercial break. That's how you're geared. In fact, when I love it. 10 years ago, I would give you a DVD and invite you to a 1-hour preview. And if you wanted more information, the only way you could get it was by me calling you and giving it to you. How many people remember those days? Now you give somebody a hard copy tool, first thing they do is they pull out their smartphone, they're holding your hard copy tool, they've got all the information in their hand right there, and they take the DVD you just spent 10 bucks on and they throw it in the back seat of their car. Raise your hand if you agree with me 100%. You know where people use hard copy tools now? After they've surfed, after they've checked it out, and then they're interested, then they pop in a CD to make themselves better. It was they did it first. There's just a little change right there. Let me tell you something else. You've got 3 numbers you need to know with your presentations. 2 minutes, 7 minutes, and 20 minutes. You have no more than 2 minutes to say something relevant to a new prospect. The most you can do in your first introductory video is 7 minutes. This is not Nikken. This is industry-wide. If you guys look at infomercials, they run on 7-minute loops. The longest presentation we should ever be doing from the front of the room is about 19 to 20 minutes. How many of you guys would agree with that? That's how much time people have today. The minute you push past those at the stages, what tends to happen is you have a point of diminishing returns to where if they're already sold, you're just selling them, selling them, selling them, boring them, boring them, boring them, and then they're out. Once you've sold them, like when I asked my wife to marry me, She's so beautiful and awesome. The minute she said yes, I was smart enough to shut up because I knew from that point on. In fact, I'm going to tell you just a touch before I get into this. And I'm just throwing a lot of stuff at you right now. Am I giving you some things to think about? If I'm not making some of you that have been in for a while a little bit irritated, I'm not new at my job either. Because part of what's going on when you change to a new version of the company is you have to shake things up a little bit. Most of you are not here because you want to be a bazillionaire cruising around in a Ferrari. I mean, that would be nice. You know what most people want today? They want to go to bed at night when they're tired and not lay down and start thinking to themselves, oh my gosh, I got more month than money. And then the pillow gets hot. And then you start flopping around. And then you flip the pillow over. And you're exhausted. And then it's 1:19, 2:12, 3:11. And you're thinking, I got to get up at 6:30, which means I have 3 hours and 46 minutes left to sleep. Who's ever done morning math before? Right? How many of you guys would agree most people today are less interested in being a bigillionaire than just having some peace, security, and stability and knowing that I'm going to have something besides having to worry? Okay? That's another network marketing paradigm shift in the last 8 to 10 years. When I first got in 10 years ago, it was all about the dream. Folks, when you've got an economy like the globe has today, dreams are super nice. You know what people want in an economy where the world is struggling? They want something that's a realistic way they can improve their lives now. Most people today aren't even thinking about dreaming. They'll get there. They're thinking about making sure their bills are paid. And if we're not talking to them in that vibration, we're going to miss people with our lofty speeches about changing the world with balance. And let me tell you something else. You don't get balance when you sign up for $60 US. You have the capacity to earn it. You have a roadmap to it. And if you've got several screwed up pillars, you may not get them all. I was talking to a guy on the back, cruising around in your smooth chair, and you walked in and said, hey, I'm doing all this stuff. You had to work on one pillar so you could achieve the other ones, right? You may have to find the one that you have the biggest strategic problem with, and you attack it so the doorway's open to the rest. So Nikken is not a guaranteed 5 pillars, folks. You're going to be busier before you get less busy. You're going to be out of balance for a year or so. Be okay with it, right? You're going to have to do a few jumping jacks to lose a few pounds. You got to sweat a little. That's just what it is. And if you don't want to lose the pounds, then you keep the weight on, man. I mean, you know what I'm saying? There's a price to be paid for the thing you want to get. I'm asking you, and I don't ever hear this talked about with the 5 pillars. We talk about the magic of balance and all this stuff. What about the price you got to pay to achieve it? You know the difference between Nikken and everything else? At least here you have the ability to achieve freedom and balance. At your job, all you have to do is the ability to enslave yourself. I grew up outside Chicago, and my father and mother owned a very small store in a very, very small town. Everybody in my generation, my dad's generation, went to Vietnam or they worked in a factory. Nobody had college degrees except for like the judge and the doctor. Real small town, like 3,000 people. And everybody worked at Case, International Harvester, General Motors, the IH Farmall plant. I mean, these were people that had high school degrees that made $60,000 a year. How do people remember those days when you could have a degree and you could do a thing and make a lot of money, right? In about 1980, I remember things starting to change. And I remember that all these thousands of people started losing their jobs. And I go back there now, and all those factories are cement strips. You know what makes me the most angry? There's a bunch of casinos and riverboat gambling there now. They replaced jobs that people had a future with things that vampire off people and steal and assassinate their life. But that's the reality of it, okay? So when I was a kid, all I ever wanted to do was be a soldier because that's what I grew up around. And then when we lost, a Walmart moved in on the outside of our town, and we were the American story of the downtown that's a ghost town. And when I was 17 years old, I went and enlisted in the Army, and I remember leaving, and my dad is a Vietnam vet, had a tough time over there, and I remember leaving the bus station on that bus and seeing my whole family in that big picture window crying, and I'm 17 years old. Next thing you know, that night I'm standing on these little feet getting screamed at. And I'll just show you something about that. That's all I ever wanted to be, though. And I ended up in Iraq, which was really exciting. That's what I looked like then. And that's pretty much all I ever wanted to do. And one day I was jumping out of a Black Hawk helicopter outside of a city called Nazareth. I had about 120 pounds on my back. And it was dark. And on one side of the helicopter, there was a drop-off that I couldn't see because my night vision was up. And I jumped out, and my front foot hit the bank, and my back foot hit air, and I fell backwards about 6 or 7 feet like this, and I landed on my ankle, and I turned it completely around backwards, and I looked down, and my boot was pointing backwards. And the helicopter left and left me laying there because we were going on an op to take out some radar sites, and we had to walk about 8 kilometers on it, do our mission, and then walk about 8 kilometers out. And they shot my leg up with morphine and all this stuff, and I'm walking on this numb leg, and they asked me, you know, what are we going to do? We can't get a medevac in here. We can't do anything. And he had to, are we going to let you get captured? And all I could picture was an empty mattress with a car battery. And I'm like, I will walk. You know what I'm saying? They're not known for being nice to people who are captured. So I said, we'll do it. So I ended up, and this is one more. You can kind of see my ankle. That was me in a captured Iraqi tank. And my left foot, you can't see it, but the boot was swelled up about that big. And I just kept walking on it for like the next 2 months. Because I had a 3rd-degree open separation with multiple chips and fractures. But once I stabilized it, I took 2 orange tent posts and put duct tape around it, and I just kept walking on it. And it was weird, because it would go up and down. I couldn't handle this. And I sat on an examination table. And I was in a special operations unit, which you guys probably know, a Green Beret unit, which is what they call it in America, but up here it would be like that. And they said, you can't do that anymore because you're over 30% disabled. I was devastated. Now, let me tell you, that's all I ever wanted to be. In the words of Waylon Jennings, I didn't even know another other way to be. So I got out and I went to college in Michigan, and I ended up being a software engineer, which, just for the record, I absolutely hated. Sitting in a cubicle was like making a dairy cow run the Preakness. I hated it. I made a good living, but I tell you, I watched what was happening. They were downsizing all the engineers in the department, and we put a line into Madras, India. And then the last thing I did there was train a guy that had my exact same job title, and he was making $31,000 a year. I thought, this is a problem. That's what led me into starting to realize there's a change in the economy. However, from the darkest points in your life, when you think you're down and you've been pushed into a place, I was depressed. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I hated what I was doing. It's weird that Nikken walked into my life. So God tends to always give me not what I ask for, but what I need. And the older I get, I try to be more wise, to have some stillness and wait to see what's actually being given to me. It's like the guy that's drowning, and you say, God, why didn't you help me? And he says, what about that helicopter I sent you? I was waiting for a sign. You know, well, there it was, right? How many of you guys are here today and you've gotten your sign and you're treating it like you might have more coming? I love it when I meet people that don't have a life that they want. Here's a multi-billion-dollar multinational, 5A1 rated, biggest and only total wellness company in the world, with the most advanced product line, biggest footprint, Nikken millionaires to help you build it, and infrastructure set up in your area to build it, and you're sitting here today going, I'm evaluating. I got a news flash. How many of you guys have ever seen the movie The Outlaw Josie Wales? Y'all probably don't watch as much up here as we do in Texas. But there's a part where he's holding 2 things of sugar, and these 3 Yankees are in front of him, and they're just looking at him because they can't believe they're seeing him. And he's standing there holding the sugar. He goes, are you going to pull them pistols or whistle Dixie? You know, there comes a point in time in life when you see a snake, you don't have to appoint a snake committee. You just step on the snake. You know, so I'm just saying, if you're here today evaluating, go ahead and pass this one up. See how many times in your life that your ship comes in and how many times you can afford to walk past it. You're lucky if you get 1 to 2 big opportunities in your lifetime and you're sitting in one. Let me show you the thing that I'm the most proud of, and that's my boy. His name is Kyler Patrick. He was born 5 months ago. That is my wife and my son. If you guys don't know Paige, that's her. And she is about the greatest thing since sliced bread. That's my oldest boy, Cole Patrick. He's 15 years old. That's Cole Patrick and Kyler Patrick. And then we have James Patrick, Evan Patrick. Just so you know, we're Irish. But anyways, and then this right here, that's us when he was newborn. And my wife and I are 42, zooming ahead. See the great gift that I had coming from I went through some really hard times in life. I'll spare you the details, but I pretty much cratered, went through a divorce, was really just kind of lost as a person. Nikken came in and gave me a repurposing, and my wife came in and gave me a re-lifing, which is really nice. And if you guys have ever seen the movie I Walked the Line, she kind of Juned me. I never did drugs or anything like that, but she really has been instrumental. So when I'm up here talking, she's the big thinker, I'm the big talker, so she's a big part of everything that we do. But there's a blessing beyond where you are in a hard spot if you have the motivation to walk beyond the hard spot. But you have to have the prescience to do that and to understand that there's better things waiting ahead. So that's who I am a little bit. I also have kind of a revolutionary view of network marketing because I was very, 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 very deep beneath my upline. In fact, I was 10 levels deep when I got started. And I didn't meet, and they didn't even know I was, back in those days we didn't have the computer. So they didn't even know I existed for years. And then my entire upline got involved in another company and recruited my only leg that I had. And then 2 years after that, I went through an exciting divorce, and I lost most of my group then. So I've actually had to build this 3 times. And every time I build it, I get a new view of what's relevant in the marketplace. So I don't have a straight trajectory of business and practices that make me 10 years out of date. The other thing is my wife was an executive. She was a trainer with Saks Fifth Avenue. She was a buyer and did all kinds. She went to Fashion Week in New York and all this stuff. And when she came home in 2007, I did like this hour-long preview with 64 slides. Our getting started took an hour. She said, well, show me how you do business. Well, first I go and I call them, and then I do an ABC, and then I do a rollout, and then I give them a CD. And then I invite them to a preview, and from there we do a getting started. She looked at me, she said, you are out of your mind. She said, I'm a professional person. I just walked out of the business world. Not one of the people that I work with would even get through a 30-year process. And I would walk out of your meeting if it went an hour. I was furious. Don't you guys hate it when your wife is right like that? Because I gave a meeting. Everybody said what a great speaker I was. And oh, man, we had a great turnout. She goes, yeah, you had like 40 consultants there. I said, yeah, great. She goes, how many guests? 2. She goes, not great. It's not an Elks Club where you get people excited with your motivational talk once a week. It's a sales presentation where new people come in and sign up. And I thought, wow. And after I was done being mad, which there's nothing worse than having to not only admit that I had to actually say she was right, I started listening. How many of you guys would agree, by the way, at what she basically told me? Too long. How many of you guys agree that if you want to be relevant today, it has to be fast, 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 light, 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 simple, simple, simple. You need to skim the information. The problem is I've got so much assumed knowledge, when I try to get it across to you in an hour, I keep writing slideshows saying, but if I only added this extra slide, then I would lock them down. Who's ever written a presentation like that? It's been in for a while, and you keep putting in the extra slide, like you're creating a brief for the Supreme Court to make sure there's not going to be any appeal. Is it true that the longer we're in the business, the more we write our slideshows, so it will be appeal-proof? It's interesting the way we go. So, what I want to do today is show you the first home career, kind of where the evolution of this has gone. Nikken has done so much work. They watched the industry for the past few years. They watch what's been going on. Nikken did not react 2 or 3 years ago to make us pay up front and look what the binaries are doing. I've been really in-depth studying the industry for about the past 3 months, and I've also been to meetings over the past year a lot. I've been out there bird dogging, finding out what's making them grow, what's making them sustain, what's making them fall apart. Nikken have been doing the same thing. And the reason Nikken didn't do this 2 years ago is because they wanted to know what the lifespan would be of these companies that were moving fast, these juicy juice companies. And Nikken wanted to take what worked in them and kick out what didn't. And what they basically come up with here is a hybrid that is the first time anybody's got both halves of the comp plan right. And I'm going to show you why. That we have all the stability of the originals and all the speed of the fast. And if you guys update your standards and practices, there will be nothing that's ever been like this. We will be the next Apple. Are you guys ready to do it? All right. We're a place you can do more than make a living, a place where you can build a life. Okay? And by the way, you got to talk to people about where they actually are. First thing you got to know is about timing in this industry. 10 years ago, folks, people had jobs. Most people doing network marketing either wanted to make a couple $100 or you had those random dreamers that wanted to be a bazillionaire. And they were inspired by being, the 1 in 1,000 entrepreneurs that I saw the vision. I wanted to live the life. I wanted to climb the eagle's nest. You had the 2 kinds of people came in. People want to make extra money and people that had that entrepreneurial gene. Would you guys agree that was our market 10 years ago? And then some would come in to make $100 and end up making $1 million. Where the market is today is a very different place because people are now looking to just come in and just make a living. And that's a marketplace that's not talked about because our presentations are geared for the big entrepreneur or they're geared for $100 a month. No one's saying you want to make a middle income wage building a home business. Would you guys agree that people now, wouldn't it be nice if people actually selected this like a career field? Timing, what people want today is they want trust and hope. A lot of our institutions and companies and the way we've been taught to work for years are no longer taking care of people, so they're looking for things like that. And the biggest thing people want today when you evaluate, you really boil it down, they want to trust things and they want to hope for a better future. How many of you guys would agree with that? You think your presentation should reflect that? Next, you alone stinks as a way to work even if the economy was great. You guys all know that, right? Does anybody here doubt that? I love it when people just are knocking themselves out. Oh, man, I cannot make the preview Tuesday night. I have to work. I'm thinking to myself, okay, you'll sell your soul for the thing that hate. By the way, there's nothing better than having a job you hate that gives you a life you don't want and being afraid you're going to lose it. How many of you guys have ever seen Monday Night Countdown or ESPN or when they talk about Monday Night Football? Anybody ever seen that? There's a section called, Come On, Man! So if you're sitting here today telling me all the reasons you can't do this, I'm going to say one thing to you. What's it going to be? Come on, man! date someone who loves you. You know what I'm saying? Nikken loves you. Your job doesn't even like you. And it hits you, doesn't even be nice to you, and expects you to love it. Isn't that great? Here's what most people that go to college. I love it. People spend 50 to 100 grand on college. They'll spend $250,000 in a franchise. God forbid you people spend $500 in a day pack. I know how strapped you are. You gotta get that new television. You understand it's the way we think. Perestroika. Right? We need some of that. And Pravda, right? Both. But it's the truth. It's ridiculous the way that we think. You guys know there's a 5-letter word that will never, ever, ever serve you badly, and the word is think. Usually people get stuck, and you get in a position, and you start reacting. I've got bills, I've got this, I've got that, and the minute you become reactive, your life goes downhill. Remember when you were 6 and you wanted to be something? When you were 26, you signed a mortgage and a car payment, and now you've been trying to keep something for the past 10 years. The best thing about humans being more is now we're going to talk about taking ground again. Most of us have been taking decreased wages because all the computers invented and stuff the last 20 years, and we're trying to keep our life. That's why we're unhappy. Hey guys, if the Western way of living here in America, North America, was working, we wouldn't have 75 million people taking antidepressants. Hey doc, I've got a life I don't like. I never see my family. I don't have hobbies. I don't have any functions that I enjoy outside of work. I'm stressed. They treat me like garbage. If I say I don't like my job, they say, well, 10 people have resumes here. I haven't done a jumping jack since 1906. I eat unhealthy food all the time because I'm in a hurry. And I'm sitting here in front of you. And by the way, I've got a mattress that's the same technology King James slept on. I just for the life of me can't figure out what's wrong. I'm sad. And then he says, well, let me ask you a few questions. Are you having trouble sleeping? Well, yeah, sure am. Are you feeling sad in the day? Yeah. Are you feeling hopeless? Well, yeah. Do you feel, just in general lethargic? Yeah. Well, how's your love life? Well, that's all right. All right. Come back 5 minutes later. They give you little pills and little sample bags. Who's ever seen that one go on before? Well, based off the questions, you must be serotonin low. Like, you got to be out of your mind. You won't even give me a vitamin B shot without pulling blood, and you just diagnosed me serotonin low, asking me 5 questions? If you went and told your grandma all that stuff, she would tell you, get a better life, ding-dong. The medical procedures are telling you to take Wellbutrin. And then you come back 3 months later, they ask you the same 5 questions, and the one thing you had going for you is shot. What do they say on Monday Night Football? Come on, man. You guys will find that as you do things that inspire you, you will feel less serotonin low. In the old economy, folks, you needed lots of people. Let me tell you something that most people will never tell you. Barack Obama or the other guy running for president will not go into Detroit and tell them the truth. Here's the truth. We invented things called computers. We no longer need 75,000 people to make cars. We can put a robot in and 4 people and make cars. And by the way, it's never coming back. This is not a recession. This is like the Industrial Revolution when everybody went and worked in the factories. This is the technological revolution. And if you don't believe me, I booked this entire trip without talking to a person. Phones, cell phones, internet, everything. And every time I did that, I put somebody out of work. The reason wages are lower and stress is higher is because instead of having 10 people looking for 11 jobs, you have 10 people looking for 4 jobs. And you've got 7 people coming from countries where they make a lot less money that want half of them. You will never, ever, 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 ever bring jobs back making 50 and 60 grand a year with benefits because they no longer are necessary. And it is not the companies who are bad. When I walk into Walmart and buy a plastic television that's $50 less than the Zenith one, that's why Zenith is gone. When you buy stocks that are profitable, it's because they don't have people. You understand, the world is never going back in the can. There's a trajectory of civilization where you farm, you make, you consume. And right now the West is in consume. And the reason all the countries are broke is because you had people that were making a whole lot of money. This is average American wages. $44,000 a year 20 years ago in real dollars. The average American male is making $12,000 a year less. Do you guys realize the impact on the tax base of everybody making $10,000 a year less? This is why the countries are broke. You understand? It can't go back. Do you guys honestly think the West can continue to borrow the way we're borrowing and function as a society? You guys understand, it's done. But there's two things you can never downsize, and this is why Nikken is so relevant. No matter where you make it, you still have to sell it, and you still got to have people to buy it. Would you guys agree? My wife and I both have college degrees. We both had a lot of career options. We both could do about anything we want to do in terms of options. We selected Nikken not because we're emotional and cry at meetings. We're not here because we got nothing better to do. We're here because it's the most logical, powerful, solid choice you can make, because you cannot downsize consultants and you cannot downsize distribution. We're here because we're the people Nikken can't get rid of ever. Okay? Now, how many of you guys, by the way, have all these smartphones and the whole world's in your hand, and you really haven't changed your life much in terms of how you look for work since 10 years ago? That's like the guy in 1898 saying, you know, I just know horses are coming back because you make horseshoes. Folks, you better change. You better change mentally. Go where the money's going. The Western dream of the American dream, the North American dream is not dead. It has moved. You better move where it's going. North America's only here because Europe sucked for a long time. And people went where there was possibility, right? You guys, that's a fact. All the people left because it was overcrowded, the forests were stripped, you couldn't make an inch without some landlord telling you had to pay them, and people left, am I right? Why are there so many immigrants coming to Canada right now? Because you have a chance to not learn how to do something, but learn how to be somebody, right? That's the thing. So go to a place you can be somebody. It's real simple. It's logical. So let's keep moving forward. The question is, have you ever asked yourself, why are you working and what in the world are you working for? Now, how many of you guys would agree that 9 out of 10 people are working primarily to pay their mortgage payment that they signed based off last month's check? Correct me if I'm wrong, that's a humans keeping stuff. What's Nikken's slogan? Humans being more. We're going to reverse it. We're going to turn it around. By the way, the minute you start reacting in the job and you start trying to get a job that just pays your bills, your lifestyle is on an inevitable slide backwards. Would you guys agree with that? How many people do you guys think out of 10 are living in that world right now where every year they lose a little bit more ground and they keep working a little bit harder to get less? Interesting. So here's the deal. You want residual income coming in. That's the trick. Everybody knows this, but nobody knows how to get it. Because if everybody really understood what they do, they would do what we do. That goes hand in parcel with our messaging. Needs to be effective and talk to people where they are. But the bottom line is you want to have a team. You don't want to be by yourself. You want to have a team. You want to be in partnership with a company and a partnership with other people. You don't want to be an employee because that's subservient. I don't ever want the Duke coming in asking for 20% of my wheat. You follow what I'm saying? I want to be in a place where I have stake in what's going on. And that's where we enter Nikken. And I'm going to tell you this, the reason I spend a lot of time in the industry. We're not the next home business. We're not the next network marketing. There's been 3 phases of network marketing, and we just created the 3rd. The first phase of network marketing was big, slow footprint companies. You go back in time 50 years, and you know how you conducted business back then? You faxed orders in. You mailed orders in. And folks, people say, well, Rick, don't talk about so much computer stuff. I've got people in the group that aren't really good at computers. Folks, there's a reason that Blockbuster stopped carrying VHS tapes. At some point, you have to move into the new market. I'm sorry if some of you are not tech savvy. Nikken cannot go to 10 billion making sure you have hard copy. If you got an analog phone, it's time to go get a newer one. People say to me, well, I'm just not good with technology. Get good at it. I'm sorry. It's necessary. Okay? Now, building relationships and all that is always going to be the same, but you also have less time to get your message across. So the bottom line, what I'm trying to say is the world's changed a heck of a lot. Wave 1 network marketing was all these slow companies, and then I remember about 10 years ago, I was in a hotel, and I watched this cat come rolling in with a hand truck full of juice. I'm like, what in the world is going on? As I'm lugging in 2 giant bags full of Nikken gear, by the way. You know, my 800-pound stuff. Do you have 3 hours for a rollout and a product demo? No. I don't. I'm sorry. I have a baby and a wife, and I work, and I go to the gym in the morning and church on Sunday. I do not have time for 3 hours with you at your house discussing how magnets affect amoebas on Jupiter during the solstice. You know what I'm saying? I just don't. Let me give you guys the advanced product training. You guys ready? You guys want to know? You want to know how to be relevant? Lace it, walk, breathe, drink, put on socks. Put a magnet where it hurts. Lace it, walk, breathe, drink, put on socks. Where you hurt, put a magnet. Where you do not hurt, do not put a magnet. When you are finished hurting, remove the magnet. How many people can remember this? Let me give you part 2 of the advanced product training. Order stuff, use stuff, talk about stuff. Can we do that again? Order stuff, use stuff, talk about stuff. I love it when I go to expos, and I haven't been to one up here, but I go and I'll be speaking in the afternoon. All morning it's scientist, 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 doctor, doctor, therapist, and at the end we get a royal diamond up to say, gosh, this is easy. I didn't know we were network scientists. I thought we were network marketers, and everywhere I ever worked, they didn't let scientists anywhere near customers because I'm not here to fascinate people, I'm here to sign them up. The longer you're in the business, the more you think you need to know the science. And I'll tell you what I tell my son. When he thinks he wants chocolate milk for breakfast, just because that's what he thinks he wants, doesn't mean that's what he needs. And you guys will not find very many lightning fast marketing companies. Like, if you guys notice the iPhone does not come out with a commercial saying, you are not going to believe the engine for parsing data that we have placed inside the iPhone. In fact, over the next 3 hours, we're going to show you a 76 slideshow presentation that will blow you away. And when you leave, you will know how come your iPhone works at different sea levels, works in different fields of electrostatic induction, how you can, in fact, utilize it. You could be in space, and if we had a transponder within viewing radius, how many of you guys have ever been to that Nikken presentation? Got to be relevant, man. You got to be relevant. Let me give you the product training again. Order stuff, use stuff, talk about stuff. And when you talk about it, say it's cool and you really liked it. I'll say, well, how does it work? Say, do not know. Go to my website and read the stuff. And if that's not enough, read the catalog. And if that's not enough, I don't know what to tell you. Because I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I have never given anybody 18 pages of science, and then they've come back and said, gosh, I'm going to build a fast group now. Right? How many people have ever found this to be true? Or you can slug it out with someone for 3 months on how, magnetics plus water affect far infrared when you're south of the equator every third weekend as it's affected by the Earth's electromagnetic field during snowstorms. Who's ever had this talk with somebody? And you grind it out with them, and you grind it out with them, and then you loan them something, they come back and say, oh, it didn't really help. Would you rather engage with one target or talk to 15? Seriously, would you guys rather engage one person and have them lingering for 3 months, or would you rather be able to touch base and bring 1,000 people into your meetings? Guys, these fast-growing MLMs are not engaging you with their titanic science. They're telling you they got great stuff, and then 7 people say it's great, and then they're cashing giant checks. So you got these companies, you get Elroy's Jug of Juice, and what they do is they wheel it in there by the case, and they made all these gimmicky comp plans like binaries, matrices, and unilevels. And what they're all about is they know that a jug of juice is going to be around for about 5 years because of patent issues. Like, even if your juice is really, really good, your success is your demise because someone's going to knock it off and put it in the store. And the minute that someone is saying, my juice is 8% better than yours, you've already lost. So what these companies have figured, they're going to be around 3 to 5 years, so they bleed out the nose in the comp plan up front. Sign-up bonuses, case bonuses, sponsoring bonuses. They bleed out the nose because they know that in 5 years we'll be dead as fried chicken. All these products up here used to be in other network marketing companies. Every single one of them. How many of you guys are bothered by that if you're trying to start a business? That is death to your business, all of them. I'd love, you know, it's so bad you can almost scratch off the label. Bob's Shake, Jay's Shake, Steve's Shake, Elroy's Shake. It's the same shake. The same company in Utah makes almost all these bottles. They repackage them and sell them as proprietary products and other MLMs, almost every single one of them. How many of you guys would agree that if you're going to go into business and pay $300 to get your distributorship, and then you're going to order cases of something, it would be nice if your customers didn't walk past that? Now, my question is, let's talk about Nikken. Would you guys please show me where the total wellness section of your local grocery store is? And what these companies do, they last for 5 and then they're gone. And what's interesting is we don't want Nikken to react and do that, because when we do that, we get a little burst, but then what happens? Tanks, tanks, and tanks. So if you guys get someone to approach you with a binary, unilevel, or anything, just know that no company with those has ever survived their 10th birthday. Of the 18,000 MLMs that have started since 1948, less than 17 have seen their 10th birthday. Okay? So if you're going to work and drive and build it and give people your word, wouldn't you rather build it just once? What Nikken has done, by the way, let's give an applause to Nikken. Let's show it some love. All right? Because I'm going to tell you something. Nikken is going to show that there is a company in the industry that believes that profits and principles are not mutually exclusive. And that is the bottom line. And the reason I'm doing this tour is because it deserves to be spoken for. And that is the bottom line. Because if you understand the industry and what this company's always been trying to do, there's nothing out there that even comes close to it. So here's what this company's done over just the past year. We have the world's only total wellness solution, a broad and deep multi-volume product line, State-of-the-art IT, state-of-the-art PWP, awesome new mobile app coming, social media footprint, cutting-edge engineered comp plan with all the speed of the 5-year juicy juices, yet long-term stability in the career path people need, cutting-edge patented technologies, and it's a really big deal. So let's get this over with. Would you guys all ask me in unison, hey, Rick, would you like to look at my business? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Hey, Rick, would you like to look at my business? No, that's really stupid. Okay, that's about the worst it's ever going to get. Did we all survive? Okay, just so you know, that's the worst it's going to get. Okay? You guys okay with that? Now let's keep going forward. So Nikken, PWP, IT upgrade. They launched multiple new technologies this year. Our snappy new air system, cool new colors of this cool new seat, that thing, sleep mask, all that stuff. Every time Nikken releases a new product, guys, they're investing hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars because they've got to buy it up front to deliver it to you. Nikken did all that, and they launched the Ukraine this year, and Peru, and somewhere else. I think that's pretty cool. In Slovenia. Nikken launched 3 countries, updated the comp plan, updated the IT, launched multiple new technologies this year, hosted a leadership conference, did all that in the last 12 months. I mean, this company did more in the last year in a transition phase than most companies will do in their entire 5 years before they go out of business. So would you guys agree that Nikken did quite a bit this year? A ton. So what they did with the comp plan, now by the way, the economy's ready, Nikken is ready. I guess my question is, are we ready? Because that's the thing. Are you mentally ready? Are you ready to go? Because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to run you through the comp plan, and I'm going to show you how powerful this thing is, because I really believe that a lot of people, if you're new here, of course you don't know what it is. Some people have been in for a while, don't know how powerful it is, especially with the new hybrid portions to it. We're going to show you. The first step to becoming a consultant, the comp plan starts before it starts. Because if you have a membership that has value, then the comp plan has stability. You guys understand that the value of the Nikken membership is you have access to products that you cannot get without it. Why did I show you all the stuff in the grocery store? If I'm charging you $100 to buy my juice, and you can also buy it for free at the grocery store, do you guys understand what value means? So my question to you is, how many of you guys would want these products with or without the business? This is why it's a business. This is why you typically don't see Nikken people saying, get into our company. We have the hottest plan in the industry. If you're talking about the plan, you don't have a product. Guys, 150% of zero is zero. 10,000% of something that's dead in year 6 is zero. You guys understand? So what I'm talking about here is the pay plan is created by the value of the membership, not the value of the membership is created by the pay plan. You guys all understand what I'm saying? If you want your business to be around in 5 years, you need a product. And you need something that people want, which is what we have. So the bottom line is with a membership, you can buy stuff at member prices, and then if you want to, you can sell it at retail prices. Your wellness home is the real power of a membership. This is what separates Nikken. This is la différence with Nikken. This is a product, that is a company. We have big ticket items like beds, medium like air and water, small ticket items like consumables. When you put it all together, you ask yourself the question, if you don't take care of your body, where are you going to live? Nikken protects your health and your environment. We're all about giving you the power to do that. The way to communicate these products is not product by product. It's we have the coolest wide and deep product line that helps you be healthy if you can lace it, walk, breathe, or drink. And learning how to be an expert, you order them, you use them, you tell people they're cool. How many people can do that again? You order them, you use them, you tell people they're cool. All right? We are all highly trained professionals. Why the Nikken comp plan again? Because there's a monopoly on total wellness. Can you guys name me anywhere on planet Earth another total wellness company of any size anywhere? No. Get a membership, you get your gear, you refer and connect, but then that's not where it gets good. Your people can beget people, Mohab, begat, Shmehab, and all that going downhill. When you start begetting, you start getting. Who wants to beget to get? That should be the new training. We're going to beget to get. Okay? So this is where it gets good. So what Nikken has is a comp plan that's really easy because what it does is it actually rewards you, and we have it broken down and it's set up so the company gets the money to stay healthy, you get the money to stay healthy, you can build it fast, and it's built to last. You have to make sure it fits all those criteria. If it doesn't, then you're going to have a problem. You have to have them all or you have none. So the way the pay plan works, it's super complicated. Let me give you the in-depth training before I give you the in-depth training. Products cost dollars. Dollars equal points. Points equal promotions. And promotions mean more income. Who here can keep that in mind? And it's super easy. The higher you go, the more you what? Make. Easy. Couple points in the pay plan. Executive should be your first goal because 4,000 points a month is where you're getting that 10% bonus. You start getting paid. When people start making money, they stay. If they're not, they don't. The necessity of motivational speakers is directly related to the lack of income you're making. Because every time Ben Franklin shows up in a little envelope, I'm excited. How about you guys, or whoever here, the Queen or whatever? Right? Am I true? If you made $25,000 next month, would you need inspiration less? I'm asking. I'm not saying you don't need it, but I'm saying when do you have to have it is when you're not making money. You want people to cross that bridge. And by the way, let me put something else out there. Our relevancy is also proportional to how much money people are making to keep them involved in the business. People are going to give up Saturday because they're making money. Can we agree with that? Can we talk about that? I know we've got a mission, and I know the angels weep every time we give products out to people. And God forbid we can talk about money, but I'm going to talk about money. Because the way that we spread the products is through money. We need to be able to talk about money at our meetings and not have it 90% how magnets affect amoebas, and then we cram in a little bit of business at the end. We need to have something that speaks to people. And if I came to a meeting, if I'm working and got a kid at home, I want you to tell me, what do you do? What do I make? How do I get this thing rolling? And then get me out of here. How many of you guys would agree with that right there? A show of hands, who wants that meeting? Relevance. Relevance. And so, why the comp plan? Companies that hit $1 billion use stair step, easy to modify, accepted by regulatory agencies, driven by volume, and best for stability. Now, let's talk about this. Ways we earn. We make lots of money from lots of places. We're going to break down the pay plan really quick and easy. These numbers mean the 25% retail profit. Everybody gets it. If you buy it wholesale, what are you able to sell at if you want? Retail. And then you see your personal rebate. Nikken also gives you money back on whatever you order. So if I order a product that costs $100 as Diamond, that 20% means I make $20 back on the 100 in addition to whatever I want to sell it for. Everybody got that? Personal volume is what you order. If you order a product that costs $44, what's your personal volume? 44. Easy. Senior's your first step. 1,500 points in 1 calendar month with you and your team. One small change is you need to do your 500 personal in the same month as your 1,500. So now, just to give you an example, if you're senior and you sell a waterfall, even at the first level, when you combine the money you'd make back plus your retail, do you guys realize you're making 90 bucks a pop? So if you're executive, you'd make 100 bucks. If you're silver, you'd make 130 bucks. How many people in this room want to make money now? And by the way, I focus on our top selling, easiest to sell products because I want stuff I don't have to worry about. I show people they want to buy. I always work with our best products. That waterfall you can sell like it's made of water. It's that easy. If you want to make income now, you use the stuff that lets you make it now. All right, go to the next one. That pack, same deal. You look at the price on it. If you sell that as a silver, you make 236 bucks all the way down to an executive, which would be 157.25. Environment pack, we already showed you that. Where the bonus breakdown gets really cool is you start getting paid to the people that you sponsor. And it's really simple. If I sponsor you or you sponsor me, and we both order something that costs 100 points, if he has PV of 100 and I have PV of 100, but he sponsored me, what would be his PGV, personal group volume? 200. In the words of the great John Lovitz, when you say, well, wow, how do you people work? I say, well, when you work, you only get paid for what you do. Here we get paid for what our team does. This would be more, wouldn't it? All right? It starts to add up and accrue. So you can see those other percentages over here. This is what you're paid on the people in your personal group. And personal group is all the people below silver in your group. You're going to get paid on them. So you match up the numbers. An executive gets paid 10% of a direct. That's why the colors are down there. It's super easy to figure out. Match the color with the rank. That's what you get. So take a peek at this. PGV, how it adds up. You take people with different ranks. The other thing nice about Nikken is once you make a rank, it's immediate and permanent. Almost every MLM out there that has organizational volume, you have to qualify with that volume at pin rank and pay rank every month. You completely lose it and go back to zero. Keep going forward. You can see this. A senior makes 5% of a direct with a waterfall. You make 15 bucks. You look at this one. If you're an executive in a director group gets a waterfall, even if you're not there, you make $28. And the silver, you make almost 50 bucks. Now, what's interesting about that is if you're silver, you make close to $50 and not even know it's happening. How many of you guys would like to make money when you don't know what's going on? All right? You'd be almost like everybody in government. They get money, they don't know what's going on. Right? Overrides, here's how they break down. This is important to know. An executive gets 10 below a direct. And you may be curious and say, well, I don't see a color coding for an executive on an executive. That is because below the rank of silver, you get points for promotion, but you don't get paid on people the same rank. You have to earn that at leadership level because Nikken wants to pay the person creating the volume below the leadership level. So if I sponsor you and you're doing all the work, who should get all the pay below leadership level? Him. But I'm still going to get promoted for finding the person. Why is silver so important? Very simply, because silver is where you start getting paid on people of equal rank and their groups. So you see those 6% out there? That doesn't mean you get paid one extra 6% this way. It means you get paid this way and everything across that way. Think how people duplicate, how big that can get, how fast that can get. And if you guys want to see other home businesses, nobody in the industry is paying 6%, 2%, 1%. The highest one I ever saw was 5%. Nikken's paying 6%, and we have compression. So the bottom line with going silver, silver is you and your group accumulating 12,000 points over a 1 to 3 month period. Pretty simple, isn't it? And remember, our products don't cost 11 cents. We're making dollars on dollars. The easiest way to go silver, we're going to game it and play it like a game. We have our packs in Nikken, which I'll show you in just a second. This is the strategy. We're going to use the fast packs to get on the fast track. It's the easiest thing in the world. People say, well, I've got a customer who just wants to buy a pair of mag steps. That's not a training. That's an iteration. We're going to have a baseline, simple way to communicate with people. Packs is how you duplicate in the business. And so we're going to be able to put people on something that will let them duplicate speedily and rapidly and be able to effectively communicate. So if you look at these vital packs, I like to call them the fast packs because you get fast personal results and you get fast business results. You can go either direction. The day pack in particular is a network marketing dream because in this pack, you have the seat, the back flex, the mag steps, the patches, all that cool stuff, the consumables, and the water bottle. It is basically all stuff I will use now. I will immediately put into circulation. It goes out of my house, and it's stuff that all leads into other product lines. If I buy something that's a Kinko seat and it kind of looks like a bed and you sit on it, how long is it going to be before you say, if I feel this good on this, I'm going to buy the bed? Or if I like the water bottle this month, what's going to be the next logical step? It's a doorway pack. It's also priced at $525 American, which is about the same Canadian, I think. You know what's cool about that? $500, the reason that's standard in the industry is because what they have found is that's the point when if you're at a meeting, you don't have to go home and make a life decision. And who's ever had this one? I really like the business, but I'm going to go home and pray. I mean, I'm glad you're going home to pray, don't get me wrong. But if you got to go home and pray to start your business, and I'm glad you're doing it, you guys understand we got a challenge there. $500 is the point when someone says, yeah, I can do that, where they're not like negotiating whether they've got to move money from somewhere to do it. You want people making decisions below the line to where it becomes something ridiculous. How many of you guys would agree? Have you ever run into this where you're over the point when people can make a fast decision? The other thing about the day pack is you can put it on a table. My goal is at your meeting, half of your day pack will get sold on the spot by people that want a product now. And my goal is you never have a full day pack. How many of you guys are down with why that day pack is so fantastic? Plus, it's at 100% CV, which means it's an easy mathematical piece to follow. So the day pack is for stop hurting, increase your energy. Sleep pack is to sleep better. The environment pack is to protect your environment. The environment pack is not a network marketing pack because it sits in your house. And I don't know about you, but I am no longer lugging around 9,000 pounds of products. My preview travels with me in a tiny little bag. Because in this business, it's not what you can do, it's what you can duplicate. And if you come to my meeting and it's a super gigantic, and other than something that's an extra special meeting like this, if you come to my preview and it takes 76 minutes to set up, and I've got this massive bag of products, how many of you guys are here that's a detriment to people duplicating meetings? Raise your hand if you've ever hosted a preview and you hate it because you got to set all that stuff up. Right? What you want is something that people carrying around in a little bag, you drop it, you're ready to go. That's network marketing. Speed. And you also want products you don't have to explain. I love the Power Mag. Having that in the first pack was killer because I had to sit there for 9,000 minutes trying to explain. Sit there for 30 minutes. I want somebody, you drank it. You guys follow me? I want easy to explain stuff. So you get discounts on the packs. They're great volume. They're easily duplicable. All kinds of great things. Number two, you make a lot of money for sponsoring people using this strategy in the front. If you're silver and above, you make $100 for every day pack. $26 for a senior, which is fantastic. And if you use the environment pack, you can see the pay there anywhere from $175 down to $50. If you add the sleep pack, the average CV of $144, we're making giant leaps through the pay plan quickly, which is really cool. Now, you take a look at the power of compression. Silver's really simple. People say, well, what's a breakaway mean? Look at it like this. If you've got let's say this is a family here and you all live in one house. and you guys all file taxes, their total income is what they file as their taxes, right? They're one household. When he meets somebody or moves out and starts his own family, let's say you lived in this family, she's at this table. Now this table is a separate tax structure, right? This table files their taxes minus their income. They're separate, but they're a first generation. That make sense? And then when you start your own family, you move to this table, you file your own taxes. So what's left in the family is the household income. In this business, we keep adding more chairs so that personal group can be there, because nobody's going to get to this table if you don't have people at this one. Would you guys all agree? If you don't have kids, you ain't going to have grandkids. Am I right? So you want to have the kids. So just because you had one kid, how do you build the Nikken business? You want to have a farm going on to where people will start to populate other tables. That's how we're paid. The reason Nikken wants you to have personal group volume is because that's the choke point where you either do or do not have a group. Having a group volume is not a requirement, it's an opportunity. Nikken raised it a little bit for top-level people, so we didn't have diamonds sitting there putting in $101.06 and making these checks, because you have a diminishing asset when you do that, because volume keeps going deeper and you keep squeezing a handful of sand. It's not good for your business. And we don't want people to structure their businesses that way. We want people to have OV and PV, for those of you guys that are higher in the business, because it keeps you from becoming stagnant, which is what happens. So if you take a look at the word organizational volume, this is the total organization of your volume, or volume organization, because once you go silver, your volume breaks away from theirs, but they're paid on you. So what we want you to do is, in order to get paid on this group, whoever the leader is over here has to do X number of points to get a leadership bonus, so they're qualified to get paid over here. Now, what kind of a bonus is that again? Leadership. It doesn't say entitleship bonus. What kind of a bonus is it? Leadership. So OV is a protective measure to your business. It makes sure you're not one-legged. It makes sure you don't have everything in one basket. And it protects your group from stagnation. That's what it's there for. And by the way, I'm going to say it again. There's not one MLM in the industry that does not have organizational volume. And all of them, you basically lose your rank if you don't hit it. Nikken's consultants were told, make everybody start over January 1st, 2013 and requalify at 0. And Kurt Foley stepped up and said, we're not going to do that. Okay? Mr. Foley made the right call here to give us speed, yet also to give us sustainability. And I have talked to him for an extensive time. Colleen, all the people that made these decisions, Nikken did not react like a lightning bolt to put a plan in place that solved a problem 2 years ago. Nikken evaluated a plan that would propel us for the next 50 years. We're not playing a 3-year game here. Okay? It's a brilliant, brilliant comp plan. So the way it breaks out, silvers get paid 2 levels deep. You get paid on everything this way and everything that way. And if your silvers just barely qualify at 2,000 points, I'm going to use this as a little example here. It's pretty doggone easy stuff. Right there, you'd have 3 times 3. That's 12. 12 groups times 2,000 points is 24,000 points. If you're paid 6% of that, that's a way to make over $1,000 a month as just a silver. The nice thing is about this right there, that's worth about $500,000 in the bank at about 3%. I love when people are squirreling away money in their retirement assets. So your theory is you're going to have a job you don't like, take a percentage of what already isn't enough, put that in the bank account so you can make 3% of that. A little squirrel. You guys want to be a squirrel, or do you want to be bringing money in? Right? We're not going to be humans keeping stuff anymore. We're going to be humans being more. So let's keep going. You take a look at why it's important to get promoted. The deeper your group gets, you want to be paid to get on that volume down in depth, because you're paid 2 levels deep. If you have somebody at the 3rd level, you're going to want to go gold. So what does gold mean? It's super simple. You simply get paid that 3rd level deep. And as your group continues to duplicate, that number gets bigger and bigger because of the power of numbers and math, correct? Extremely easy. So you take a look at this, you'd go from making $1,000 a month up to making almost $3,000. That right there, this model with people barely qualifying, some will do more, some will do less, you're out earning the average college graduate as a gold. How many people here are excited that you could start in Nikken, spend less than what people spend on their books for a semester of college, and you can out-earn a college graduate in a few months to a couple of years? If it took you 5 years part-time to get to $5,000 a month, how many people here would be okay with that? And why aren't you okay with it? Think about it. Okay? What does platinum mean? Oh, you get the lifestyle program? This is cool. That means when you're gold, when you qualify, what qualify means is you do your personal 1,500, It's $2,000 to qualify at silver to get paid on your breakaways, $1,500 at gold, $1,000 at platinum, diamond, and rolled diamond. To qualify means you do your $1,500 at gold, and each of your silvers does their $2,000. When you do that 3 months in a row, you're in the lifestyle program, and they go back and recalculate your bonus again and pay you on top of what they're paying you. In this instance right here, it's like $400 a month. With that play right there, somebody just went and put like an extra 60 grand in a bank account for you as a residual asset. So that would mean an extra $500 a month in your pocket. At platinum, gold is where you're going to start to see OV. You see it at silver too. Oh, this is what I wanted to say. To be a qualified silver, you need 2,000 personal group and 4,000 OV. Someone said, well, why'd they raise it to 4? Folks, if you're a silver and you do your 2,000, and you don't have another 2,000 outside of your group, you're not getting paid on anything anyway, so where's the problem? Somebody was all up in arms. Now I got to do 4,000. I'm like, well, shouldn't the discussion be, I want to do 4,000 so I can get paid? What would you rather? Nikken has said, okay, you can do $2,150 so you can be qualified, and we'll pay you 6% of $100. You realize how dumb it is to worry about that if you're a silver? In the words of Deion Sanders, you don't supposed to be paid on nothing. If you're doing under 4,000 points a month, you don't have a business you can live on anyway, correct? What Nikken's trying to do there is help you lean into the next level, not sit back at the current one. You always want to be leaning into a level, not rocking back and enjoying a level. Okay? We don't want perma-silvers anymore. All right? Platinum, gold is 1,500 and 10,000 in your group. And once again, if you don't have the 10,000 outside your group, you're not going to get paid anyway. And most of the golds, this is for people who have been in the business, even if you're paid at silver as a gold because you didn't hit the big number, most golds, if you don't have 10,000, you're not duplicated down to the third level anyway, so it's not a loss. If you're duplicated down to the third level, you're going to have more than 10,000 anyway. You understand how it's a silly argument to have because anybody that would be affected by third level volume would have 10,000 anyway, most likely. And if you don't, who cares if you're paid at gold if you've got 9,000 points in your group? What are you going to do with that? You follow what I'm saying? So there's nothing but excitement here, and it's good for the people at the higher levels. Part two, the people who are just starting, you know the roadmap in advance. It's easy. Platinum, 30,000, 10,000 outside your primary leg. This is where you see the word primary leg, because Nikken doesn't want you to have 29,000 in one leg and 0 in the other. You guys realize that's unhealthy. It is bad for you and bad for your business. This is the new Nikken. We want you to be healthy. We want speakers to be proficient. You guys have them here. But don't you guys agree that when somebody goes roll diamond, you want to know they're doing at least 300,000 bananas every month. You know that a diamond's doing X. So there's some meaning behind the levels, not just a pin. You guys agree with that in general? You want some integrity behind the pay plan? What OV does it gives you integrity in the pay plan? All right, so platinum, you get another big boost. With this model, you'd be making about $15,000 a month at platinum. Who here could scrape by on $15,000 a month? Compression, I'm just going to say this quickly. Nikken pays you even on people that do not qualify. In other companies, that money goes back to the company. Nikken skips over them and doesn't count it as one of your generations deep. How cool is that? All right. Next, diamond, you add another level, and now you're making about $44,000 a month. Who could live on 40? By the way, there are diamonds that have been for years making more than this in Nikken. Royal diamond in this model right here, you're making about $120,000 a month. We got people, Mike, we got people making that, don't we? All right. Let me ask you this. If I'm 90% wrong about Nikken making $120,000 a month, is that better than if I'm 100% right about your job? Not a bad deal. That's like a guy tells you, hey, marry me. I've got 12 mansions and 3 Ferraris, and I own 4 islands, and you find out he only owns 2 islands, it's all right. You know what I'm saying? You know? Now let me show you something here. What this allows us to do is create something called the Fast Track, Nikken Fast Track, and I'm really excited about this because I'm going to show you guys something that's super easy and super powerful. So let's talk about this. How to begin your Nikken business. How many of you guys would like that presentation? That can be a preview training, getting started, comp plan, everything all at once. You don't have to have 18,000 things anymore, and something anybody new can do in under 5 minutes. That changes us from network marketing, from network science. Okay, here we go. Number 1, become a consultant. So, in fact, I'll just do it like I'm actually going to do it. Let's have some fun. Let's pretend like it's real. I want to welcome you guys all to your Nikken business. I'm very excited to be here today. I'm brand new in the business. I'm here to share with you how you can get started too. I'm duplicating what a lot of really successful people have done, and and we're going to get you out and rolling in your business. Number one, of course, is get your membership. It's pretty cool stuff. You can actually get stuff at wholesale, which is our perk of being a consultant. You can use that to your heart's content and be a product user, and you can actually sell it and make some really nice income in your pocket now using your privilege of membership to connect people that don't have one. That gap is money in your pocket if you choose it to be so. And I would say the biggest savings is not only your retail savings versus wholesale, but also the savings in your health and all the people around you that you love. There's a lot of savings with Nikken beyond just the dollars and cents. However, most people do not connect to Nikken just to get a membership. They get it to get much more. So they're going to want to be able to communicate with Nikken. So there's actually something called Nikken Premier. And what that is two components. One is what we used to call advanced e-Nikken. That allows you to talk to Nikken and communicate with the company, track your global business and all those things. And if you're just a product user, you don't need it. But if you're a business builder, it's something you're going to want to have. And then the second thing is, now that you can talk to Nikken, is you want to be able to talk to prospects and talk to new people. So most of you have already seen what we call a personal web page. What we want you to do is get that set up. And on Advanced eNikken Premier, what's exciting about it is if you sign on board for only $24 a month, you get this powerful tool. And if you get it, you can say, well, I get the business tool to talk to Nikken, and then I get the web page for free. Or you can say, I bought the web page and got the business tool for free. So it's a buy one, get one free. How many of you guys are excited about you got your membership and now you can talk to Nikken and talk to new people? How many people here are tracking this training already where it's easy? Okay? Now, number two, your wellness home. This is the real power of your membership. It's not one product. It's the ability to get involved in and use all of our products. And this is a very important time in the presentation where we need to teach you how to use all the products. Very, very important. So we're going to get into some really in-depth science and make you all experts immediately. If you lay, walk, sit, breathe, or drink, we want you to continue with that. However, we would also like you to utilize our products when you do it, and then you will do it, and you will be healthier and get healthier while you do it. So the thing that looks like a water system, you put it in the top, you drink it out the bottom. The thing that looks like a bottle, you put it, and you drink it out the top. It's kind of confusing, but that's how you use them. That straw thing is a straw. The socks. The nice thing about our socks, they've engineered them so they go on either foot. Right? The magnets, you put it where you hurt, you take them off when you don't. There are ones that spin and ones that don't. The ones that spin do deeper stuff. The ones that don't. Get the appropriate one. Okay? If you sit a lot, get the thing that helps you sit more comfortably. If you sleep a lot, get the thing that looks like a bed. And then it's fascinating that the comforter matches the bed and you utilize it as such. The air system cleans air. How many people here are tracking me that this is the most simple thing? The beauty of Nikken is you don't have to be a doctor to do it. We've been like Icarus stealing fire from the medical community, and we're giving the power of health back to the people. And that's what it's about. We're taking the black box and the fire off Mount Olympus and giving it back to the people. That's what's beautiful about it, is that you can do this without being it. And Nikken has bright people and doctors and scientists inventing all this stuff so you don't have to. So now you got your membership, you can talk to Nikken. We're going to get your wellness home. The smartest way to get your wellness home is with what? Let's hear if you guys can remember the training from earlier. What's the fastest way to start your wellness home? Get the fast packs to put you on the fast track. Let's say that again. It's super hard. How do you get started? How do you get your wellness home? You use the vital packs or the fast packs. And then what will you be on? Fast track. How many people here can remember that? Pretty hard. Okay? So why do you want to use your packs? To get my wellness home. And if you're a business builder, it puts you on the right track. Easy stuff. The day pack is our foundational pack. That's for energy and personal health. The sleep pack is for sleep. And the environment pack is, guess what that's for? Your environment. Okay? You save money buying them in a pack, just like you guys always buy stuff like that. You actually can duplicate. If somebody says to you, how did you start your business? Wouldn't you like to be able to tell them? Okay. So we're in the business of duplication. You've just duplicated. So now you have your membership to Nikken. You can talk to Nikken and talk to prospects. You can get all the products. What's the most efficient way to get them? What are we going to use? The vital packs will put you on the what? The fast track. Okay, you guys are trained. This is very hard. Now the business training begins now that you have your gear. It's super easy. Let me tell you how to do it. You have your gear. You tell other people about said gear. How many people here can do that? I have it. I like it. Let's do the training again. Most important training you'll ever have. I have it, and I like it. You might too. How many people can remember that? Okay? If they like it too, we help them connect to Nikken, and then Nikken sends products straight to them. But where it gets really nice is Nikken sends them products, and they send you a thank you note in the form of a check. How many people can remember that? Connect them, get paid, right? So that's cool and that's nice, but where it gets really fun is when you connect people to get paid, they can do the same thing. And remember, we're going to help them do a couple easy things. The people we sponsor are going to get their membership. They're going to connect to Nikken and connect to where they can talk to prospects. They're going to start their wellness home using the Vital Packs, because those fast packs, what in the world will that put them on? That's right, that's right. So they're going to be on the fast track too. And then if we do that, is there a chance that if we do something that simple, this person down here might not have to wait till 2070 to do what you do up here? Okay, so let's keep talking. And by the way, would you get paid a lot of money if you get thank you notes, if all those people used all those products? Yes. Pretty powerful. So we have a comp plan, which is how you keep score. And here's what I want you to know about the comp plan. If you're new, it's super simple. You sign up at direct, but where the game starts is at senior or above. So I'm going to make this real easy. If a product costs $44 for the water bottle, how many points is it worth? 44. If you buy 2, that would be 88. How many points is that worth? 88. Okay? So dollars equal points, points equal promotions, promotions equal more money. How many people here pretty much get that without the training? Okay? So just a couple things I want you to know. We don't get paid on signups. We don't get paid on trainings. We only get paid if you do, and we only get promoted when you do. Your first goal is going to be executive. That's where the pay gets real nice. And your second goal is going to be to run for silver. And if you're at the lower levels to make instant income, you're going to want to use the power of your retail versus wholesale membership to put money in your pocket now. But ideally, we want to run you past those first couple of levels and get you into the compensation plan. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to have a real simple plan to do it. Elegant, simple, easy to understand. If 3 seniors make a silver, and the volume from 3 executives makes a silver, and 3 silvers make a gold, and 3 golds make a platinum, and 3 platinums make a diamond, and 3 diamonds make a raw diamond, correct me if I'm wrong, but the number 3 might be intuitive in the plan. Okay? So we're going to take the speed of the fast pack, we call it the fast pack, the vital day pack, whatever you want to call it, and we're going to marry that up with a simple strategy that is congruent with the comp plan, and we're going to help to give you a real fast business launch. So now let's catch you up. It's really complicated. You get your membership. You can talk to Nikken and talk to prospects. You want your wellness home. So what are you going to use to get a, how do you take 300, how do I start my wellness home? What do? How do you start your wellness home? Okay, what does Nikken have set up? I can order, but what do I order? Order Jade Green, does that give me a wellness home? What gives me a wellness home? Okay, great. And if I get those, what will it put me on? Okay, easy. Now, how do you build the business? Real simple. I'm going to teach 3 to reach 3. Easy as that. The cornerstone of this is the Vital Day Pack because it opens up the doorway to everything. So my business strategy is super simple. I'm going to connect 3 and help them reach 3, teach 3 to reach 3. And the value of that is, it's not saying sponsor 3, it's helping you work at this level here. That's network marketing, that's direct sales. So when you sponsor this person, what level are they working at? Down here. So building the business is easy as teach 3 to reach 3. How many people can remember that? So we're going to get our membership, okay? We're going to connect to Nikken. We're going to get our wellness home by using what? This is critical. You guys got to know this. You're going to use the fast packs to get on the fast track. And then if you're the newest person in the room, how are you going to build your business? Teach 3 to reach 3. How many people here think you could do this if you were 1 day in the business? Easy. Easy, easy, easy. How much do you get paid for doing it? If you duplicate that out 6 times, you're going to make about $35,000. If you had the environment pack, you're going to make about $100,000. If you had the sleep pack, you're going to make about $200,000. Of course, not everybody's going to do every bit of it. Some are going to do more, some are going to do less. This just illustrates the power of teaching 3 to reach 3. By the time you duplicated that just 4 or 5 times, your gold or platinum, 6 times your diamond, how many people will be excited about something so easy that you can teach in 5 minutes or less that can show people a path to diamond right away? Duplicate anywhere in the world. You want to translate it into any language, you can do it. But we're not going to stop there. That's as far as the training goes in most home businesses. Remember, we have a wellness home. And we're going to go into auto ship, real easy. Real impact anybody can afford now. It's a great way to take advantage of the products at big discounts, and it's our salary. We have a base recommended auto ship with our best, easiest to explain. You don't have to give a scientific talk on fruits, vegetables, stuff for your heart, and immunity. About $100 a month. Standard MLM is about $130 a month for 1 product. We're $110 for 4. This would be better, wouldn't it? Okay? Powerful stuff. If you really want to get sporty and you're new, you can try out the Kenzen Essentials pack. It kind of gives you a smorgasbord for everything. but this is a powerful thing to duplicate. And think of countless people ordering every month, and you're getting paid. And then here's the most important slide of all. Have fun, help people, plug in with your active upline, attend the first HBM. Let's figure out who you're going to talk to teach 3 to reach 3. Go to your first big event, and then be your own best customer. How many people here are ready to go for the top? Would you guys agree that the more we need the top level people around? See, I don't want to need my upline. I'd like to leverage them. What I want to do with these guys in this room is not be like, oh my God, I can't do a preview without the Pope. You know what I'm saying? Which is how a lot of people use their upline. My group will do the same thing. Unless I'm wearing the hat and the red slippers, nothing goes on. I've had that dynamic. And by the way, I don't want that dynamic. I want to leverage them. Here's what I'd be doing. We got some cats around here that have made millions of dollars doing this thing. They're huge. They're all over the world. They're big global business partners. I want you to come and meet them and hear their story. And I'm going to use them at events. But I'm going to be out blowing my business up. So instead of coming here like I bought a ticket to the Elks Club, I'm bringing my own team of 60. I want to come in here, do a luncheon with my own team out in the lobby, and then blow out of here and leverage the event, not come in here like I bought a ticket to go see Lord of the Rings. This is about you guys all building individual teams and being leaders, not about coming here and watching an event. You guys understand the difference in the two? And the way we've been structured with gigantic presentations, we've had a lot of spectators. What we need are a lot of deliverers. Do you guys agree? Are you guys with me on that? So what I want to do is have you're brand new, or you've been in for a year or two, you've got powerful uplines around, but you're sponsoring me today, and we need to get going. Okay? What'd be the first thing you tell me to do? I'm new. How do I get my business started? What'd be the number one thing I'd have to do? How do you talk to Nikken? Yes. 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 And my Nikken lets you talk to Nikken, right? How do you talk to prospects? PWP. How many of you guys get that straight? You talk to Nikken through my Nikken, but if that's all you've got, how do your prospects talk to Nikken? Guys, there is not a network marketing anywhere in North America that is growing right now that is not using their PWP as the only entrance point into that business. You guys know that? No MLM out there is doing anything other than people are, like if I met you, there wouldn't even be a conversation. It's here's my webpage. You guys understand the speed they've got? How many of you guys know that? There wouldn't even be a conversation. In fact, if you guys met a company today, what would be the only thing you would go do when you met them? You would go and look up their webpage, correct? How many of you guys have been not using your PWP? I haven't. You follow what I'm saying? And so what happens is we're irrelevant, right? We're not communicating. We're talking a dead language, okay? So the two things I'm going to do, let's go back to this. If I was your new consultant and you're brand new, you just advised me to connect to Nikken to use the stuff. I can talk to prospects. I got my webpage up. I said I want products, and you're going to advise I use what? The fast packs. So the fast packs will help me get what for myself? A wellness home. Okay, so now is this logical? You guys walk it through. So now that I've got that, I'm going to say to you, how do I build the business? If I sponsored you, here's what I would tell you. Get your gear, connect to Nikken. Well, I want my wellness home. How do you do it? We're going to use the fast packs. The most important one's the first one, the day pack. Okay, cool. What's our goal? We're going to run you executive and then to silver. What's your strategy? We're going to teach 3 to reach 3. Here's what you're going to make. And now let's plug you in. Your next event's Tuesday. You and I meet so that I can help you get 3 people to that meeting. And then as a diamond or a royal or a platinum, I'm not having to give you a 90-minute training. I'm spending 90 minutes calling your people with you. Teach 3 to reach 3 lets you be uncluttered. All this stuff right here, what I want to happen in our groups, we're going to have the newest people in the room give the getting started. And then the diamond's going to come up and give a value added. How about you sign up, you get your gear, you're on the fast track with the fast packs. And what's duplicable? What is the core, what is the essence of Nikken? Membership, e-Nikken, packs, duplicate, plug in. Yeah. And then as a royal diamond, okay, great. We're done with all the training. Now let's have 30 minutes of testimonials, how to make contact, and let's hear Bo Tanis' royal diamond story. And then you actually have a value added on the event. Okay? If I was your new downline today, and there's no diamonds or even silvers around, I don't know what rank you are, but let's just say you're new, and I say to you, how do I get started in Nikken? What would be the first thing I would need?
I've sponsored you.
Yes. What's the first thing I have to do? I haven't been sponsored yet. I'm saying I want to get going. What do I do? First thing.
Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get you registered with the
Perfect. And then now I'm registered. What do I need to do right now to be able to talk to the company?
Rick, if you could repeat what she says.
She said, get your membership, your ID number, which is perfect. So I've got that. What do I need to do second so I could be in communicado, or in communication?
Okay, register with your page. So
Beautiful.
Personal webpage.
Okay.
Then get
Okay, and what will that put me on? The words are important. Using the word fast plants the seed that we're fast. There's psychology there. You understand that, right?
I'm going to show you how to sit down, order your vital packs, get you on the fast track now.
Okay, great.
Turn around, you're going to give me 3 people. We're going to teach them to do exactly the same thing.
So teach 3 to reach 3. The verbiage is important because what does it do? The rhymes, when someone walks out of the meeting, when you're not there, they're going to be able to duplicate. So the verbiage is important because what it does, it plants the seed. Think if I told you, how do you build the business? You get your fast packs for the fast track, and we're going to help you teach 3 to reach 3, and there's what you make. How many people here think that would free your groups up forever? And if you did 1 phone call with me and I'm in Vancouver, I can repeat it tomorrow. I'm telling you guys, mark my words. Our newest people are going to give these presentations in our meetings. It'll take 15 minutes. And then we're going to get up and do the meeting stuff beyond it with the testimonials and all that stuff. We will no longer have the reverse to where the king is doing the presenting. We're going to have the new people doing it and using the king as a king. Now let us come up and show you a royal diamond that's made $10 million who did it with this simple, powerful methodology. Is that a better use of a big pen than having a big pen wasted on teach 3 to reach 3? Make sense? I want to use my upline, not need my upline. You guys have some of the biggest, best network marketers in the world in this room. Absolutely off the charts. My question is, are you going to bring people around them and let their story lock it in? Or are you going to only come here yourself and see them and wish you had people here? How are you going to do it? And the fewer people that feel proficient in the training, the more you get people who buy tickets to events instead of use them. If you go to a training by yourself, you're there to learn. If you bring somebody, you're there to get paid. How many people feel like you've got rocks on your back? You want to be free? So I'm just going to leave it there and just let you guys go with it. Just consider the fact that you can make a ton of money if it's really, really simple, as opposed to slugging it out. Does this all make sense to everybody? Here's the last thing I'm going to say. We have a very special company with very special stuff. All of us are ambassadors of it. How you talk about it, privately, publicly, and everything else will determine what it is because we are the company. It's a very special place. It deserves people who understand that it's a special place. It's time somebody grew this industry up. It's time somebody did something special in this industry. It's going to be us. Nikken will do billions over the next few years. You guys are the tip of the spear. You have some of the finest MLM leaders in this room. What I would like you guys to do is see you make them the royal diamonds and use them the way that their pin will help you. Understand that Nikken needs new leaders to go to new places. Use the current leaders to help you spread. But it's time that you step in your living room or your bathroom and look in the mirror and say, I'm proficient, I can do it, I don't need anybody to sponsor or turn people over. I'm going to leverage people to help sell the vision, not need them to tell you what pack to order. So you have the fire in your hands now. The question is, what do you want to do with it? So you have the smartest, most powerful company, a hybrid compensation plan that you can build like any other comp plan in the industry. It's got all the speed of a Juicy Juice with the sustainability of Nikken. It's the perfect hybrid of both. My question is, what are you prepared to do? And are you ready to do it? And that's all I've got to say about that. Thanks. God bless.
He put his heart and soul into that one. Rick Murphy, part of Nikken Award.